The slap echoed through the hallway of Golden Sunset Care Center. Sharp, wet, final. Why would you do that? His name was Walter Miller, 94 years old. Once a Marine who'd stormed Normandy. Now he was just another forgotten veteran in a place that smelled of bleach and hopelessness. His trembling hand reached for his walker as a red mark bloomed across his cheek. Standing over him was irate Patricia Hoffman, the nursing home director, her pearls glinting under the sterile light, her eyes cold as marble. "You filthy old bastard," she hissed. "How dare you accuse me of stealing?" Walter blinked up at her, jaw shaking, but voice steady. "Because you are." He pointed to the clipboard clutched in her hand. "The food money and the medication funds. All of it. You've been bleeding us dry." At the end of the hall, Tommy Miller, Walter's nephew, froze. He'd come for a surprise visit. But what he'd just heard wasn't the reunion he'd imagined. Then the smell of blood hit him. He ran. By the time Tommy reached the room, Patricia was straightening her designer suit. Walter lay crumpled beside his walker, his lips split open. "Mr. Miller fell," Patricia said, forcing a smile. "He's confused, making wild accusations." "I didn't fall," Walter rasped. "She hit me, because I found out what she's doing to us." From behind Tommy came the heavy sound of boots. 14 men filling the doorway. They wore black leather and steel, patches reading Hell's Angels gleaming under the lights. They'd been visiting another veteran down the hall when the slap broke the silence. "What's going on here?" said Hammer. Their president, voice deep as gravel. Patricia's smile faltered. "This is private property. You all need to leave." Tommy crouched, helping his uncle up. His heart sank. Walter felt weightless. The old man's hospital gown hung like rags. "Uncle Walt, when was the last time you ate?" Walter's eyes filled with tears. "Yesterday, crackers and water. That's all they give us now." Every biker in the hall went still. You could feel the air shift, that heavy, dangerous quiet before a storm. "That's dementia talking," Patricia said quickly, her voice cracking. "We serve 3 meals daily." Hammer stepped forward, eyes cold. "Then you won't mind if we check the kitchen." "You can't do that," she snapped. "Call security." "Or the cops," Hammer said. "Your choice. But we're getting this on record." Patricia turned pale. She opened her mouth to argue, but from another room came a weak voice, barely a whisper. "Please, help us." The hallway went dead silent. The bikers exchanged glances, then began moving, slow, steady, unstoppable, toward the rooms beyond. And for the first time in years, the old warriors inside Golden Sunset realized rescue had come. The first door they opened told them everything. A man who once wore a Navy uniform lay half-covered by a thin blanket, his skin pale and loose over bone. His eyes fluttered open at the sound of boots. "Is it chow time?" he asked weakly. Patricia's voice trembled from behind them. "You have no right." Hammer turned, his stare sharp enough to cut glass. "We have every right." Tommy moved from room to room, each scene worse than the last. Men who had once stormed beaches and faced tanks now stared at him through hollow eyes. The smell of urine, antiseptic, and decay clung to everything. In one corner room, a veteran whispered, "She sells our meds. Says we don't need them anymore." Tommy's throat tightened. "Uncle Walt, is this true?" Walter nodded slowly. 2 weeks ago, they stopped my blood pressure pills. Said the pharmacy was out." He lifted his trembling hands. "But I saw her, Patricia, taking boxes to her car." Patricia stepped forward, voice brittle. "These are senile old men. They hide things. They forget." But Tommy was no longer listening. He was looking at his uncle's nightstand, where the space for Walter's medals sat empty. His grandfather's pocket watch gone. Even the photograph of Walter's platoon was missing. "Where are his things?" Tommy asked. "Probably misplaced," Patricia said, her voice high, defensive. Tommy's jaw tightened. "You took them." Then Walter, his hands shaking, pulled something from under his blanket. A small black phone. Its screen cracked, but still recording. "I'm not demented," he said softly. "And I recorded everything." He pressed play. The hallway filled with sound, Patricia's voice ordering a nurse to water down soup, to cut dinner portions, to make the old ones last longer. Another clip, her taking envelopes of cash from families. Another, her loading boxes into her Mercedes. Patricia lunged for the phone, but Tommy caught her wrist mid-swing. His grip was iron. "Touch him again," he said quietly, "and you'll be the one who needs a nurse." "Let her go," Hammer said, his voice calm but heavy with threat. "We want her conscious when the cops arrive." He lifted his phone and started recording. Name's Patricia Hoffman, director of Golden Sunset Care Center. Been starving veterans. We're calling this what it is. Murder. Patricia's facade shattered. "You don't know what you're doing. I'll have you arrested." "Please do," Hammer said. "We'll wait." From somewhere down the hall came another voice. Dr. Sarah Kim, a local geriatric specialist who had arrived for her weekly rounds. Her face went pale as she looked into the rooms. "My God, these charts show severe malnutrition. Their weights have dropped 20 pounds in 2 months." She turned to the bikers. "She's killing them slowly." The words hit the air like thunder. Tommy felt the rage pulse through the men beside him. Not wild rage, but the kind that's colder, measured, righteous. The kind that comes from soldiers who understand what justice looks like. When the police finally arrived, the scene was already documented. Photos, videos, testimonies. Patricia tried to hide behind legal threats, but the evidence spoke louder. Walter handed his phone to Detective Morrison with trembling hands. "Everything you need is there," he said. Hammer placed a steady hand on Walter's shoulder. "You did good, Marine." Patricia was led away in cuffs, shouting about misunderstandings and lies. No one listened. The officers passed rows of frail men watching silently from their beds, some saluting with shaky arms as she was taken away. Outside, the sky broke open with rain. The bikers stood in it, leather-soaked, engines rumbling. They'd come as visitors. They left as guardians. But for Tommy Miller, it wasn't over. He looked back at the building, the cracked windows, the flickering light, and whispered, "She's not the only one." And he was right. The war for justice had just begun.